everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of Einstein certification series. So today I'm going to talk about Einstein dashboard building basics, right? So this one, as you can see on the screen. So if you remember, I mentioned before I started this certification series that I'll be covering pretty much everything from Trailhead because they have a pretty good content and I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these two few important stuff with the dashboard basics today. So before I jump into that, the first thing I want you to do, if you haven't done so, please register for an org. It's pretty straightforward to do that. So I've already registered. I'm logged into my org. So why do we need a dashboard, right? So we're talking about Einstein. When we talk about Einstein, we talk about the data inside, or the capability of Einstein to give us information about the data, right, in an efficient way, using the power of artificial intelligence, right, in simple terms. So at times, to gather the data is the easiest part. When you have, let's say, sorry, I take that back. What I'm saying is that let's say you have a data, right? You have a data from a Salesforce object, or you have a data from external source. You have all the data at one place. Now, how to present that data to a user which makes sense to the user, right? That's the challenging part, right? You need to put the data in such a way that when someone looks at the data, right, or when someone looks at the graphical representation of the data, it makes total sense to that person, right? For instance, if a salesperson looks at the data, he or she or they can make a informed decision based on the stuff that's out there on the screen, right? So that's where the dashboard comes in the picture. So creating a dashboard is a skill. I mean, you don't have to worry much about wondering it's very complicated to build dashboard. It's not really complicated. It's straightforward, but you need to know a few concepts. So I'm going to walk you through that today. So that's the main intention of mine today, right? So the first thing first, as I said, I logged into my org. So you go to this tic-tac-toe icon. I'm going to go to Analytics Studio, right? And that's where the dashboard comes into picture. So we're going to talk about a few things associated with the dashboard. I'll tell you in a minute. Go to all items, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a dashboard, right? So you have two options here. One is you can create using a blank dashboard. So when I meant by blank dashboard means you won't be given any options, right? There won't be any template, right? It's a blank canvas where you drag and drop the stuff and build everything from the scratch, right? So that's something I wanted to do today. And then there is another one where you have a data where you know what exactly you wanted to do, right? Or in other words, that you have certain idea, right? Your data should look something, or your chart should look something in a specific way, or your dashboard should have different items on it. So if you think that a template will give you that leverage, then this is the best way to do so. So what I meant by that, let's go to dashboard from template, right? So you can see that there are a lot of options here, right? Comparison dashboard. If this is something you're after, you can use this one. Details dashboard. If you wanted to, visualize the data with chart and include record level details, then this template will give you a head start, right? And so there are smart templates, right? So you can look at that as well. So I would highly encourage you to read about this one, play with these dashboard templates to give you an idea, right? Let me give you a very simple example. Let's say I'll choose this one, right? Okay, performance summary, okay, and then click on continue, okay. So it will give you a few options. You need to choose a data set here, right? Okay, so I'm going to choose the DTC opportunity. So DTC opportunity data set comes with Einstein when you register for it, right? It's not something I've created. So every org, right? Every user out there who register for an Einstein org will able to see this data set. So that's the reason why I'm not going to create a new data set today. I'm going to use the existing one, right? Okay. So choose a metric. You can choose amount, okay, and choose a date. You can choose a close date. And if you the grouping you wanted to do, let's say I wanted to do account type and opportunity type, right? So looks good. Next, say you can say template based dashboard, right? Give a meaningful name which makes sense to you, and you can put in first demo app and create it. Okay, right? There you go. So see, everything is on the screen for you, right? So you don't have to do much about it. So pay attention to the screen for a second, right? And I'm going to explain to you different components here in a minute. So pay attention to this, right? You can see, let me run this and preview. So you can see that, there's a performance based dashboard on the screen, right? And you don't have to do pretty much anything to build this. All you have to do was to choose a template and then, choose your data set and then build the groupings, right? That's all you have to do. Pretty straightforward, right? So this approach will work if you know that the template will do the job for you. But at times, it's not the case. You might have to build stuff from the scratch. So the template may not be a right option for you. So you need to decide what is best for you. So today my main interest is not to show you template based, but to show you using a blank dashboard, but just to demonstrate what it means to use a template based dashboard. So that's the reason why I have demonstrated this one, right? Sounds simple, right? Okay. So so these are the components we have, right? So these are all the components you can drag and drop from here on the left hand side. These are called widgets, right? So there are different components on the left hand side you can drag and drop on the screen. And so we're gonna do something similar using a blank canvas. So in this scenario, the canvas is not blank, so we're not gonna do anything here, okay? So everything is built to us using a template here, which is straightforward. So you can see, you can click here. This is a chart, and this is again a chart, right? And this is again a chart, right? And then you can go here and you can change it, and you can go here, right? It gets changed, right? Right. Now, what we're gonna do, so we're gonna scrap this, okay? I hope this is clear, all right? I mean, I haven't done anything fancy here. I've used existing template and I demonstrated. Pretty straightforward, okay? All right, so we're gonna scrap it, and we're gonna build everything from scratch, because I wanted to demonstrate the power of different widgets, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to dashboard, okay, create a blank dashboard, and okay, so we have a canvas, nice looking canvas. So these are the cells, right? Like if you have used Excel sheet, right, you know what I meant by that, different cells. Okay, go to property here. I'm gonna make it to fine here, okay, and it's gonna make it to spacing to 0, right? I just want it pretty straight, plain. If you wanted to change the background color, you can do that as well, right? So if you wanted to change the grid color to, let's say this, you can do that, right? It's up to you, whatever the way you wanted to look at it. So, okay, let's keep it here, right? Okay, and now we have different widgets here. So this is the chart, this is the table. So chart is like, if everyone knows what chart, right? So if you wanted to see the data in a graphical representation, right, in the form of a donut chart or a bar graph or whatever, right, you can use this. If you wanted to see in the form of a table, this is the form of it, right? And these are the filters, right? I'm going to talk about it in a second. These are containers, right? Containers, right? It contains another object inside it. And this is the data. And this is a link. If you wanted to link to different pages, you can do that. This is image. This is list, number, range, text, toggle, and navigation, right? Pretty straightforward, nothing fancy about it. What I would suggest is to go to the help documentation and read about it, each one, right? I'm gonna demonstrate a few of them, but I would expect you to go and read it at your time, at spare time, or whenever you have time. Okay, So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop a chart component here, okay? And then I'm going to click here, okay? So if you remember in my second chapter, second episode, whatever you wanted to say, I talked about how to create a data set, how to create an app, how to create a dashboard, and I briefly touched about how to use data set in a chart, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the DTC opportunity, as I mentioned to you earlier, that I'm not going to create a custom data set. I'm going to use the data set that's Salesforce provide to us, right? Okay. And then it's pretty same looking interface. Now I'm going to use the amount here, okay? And I'm going to delete this. I'm going to use the bar. So we're going to put account type, right? And then we're going to use opportunity name, okay? And probably going to choose the opportunity stage as well, okay? And then you can change the chart type if you want, right? If I wanted to use the column chart, I like to do something like this. I will choose the column, okay? And if you wanted to use filter, you can use it. I'm not going to use the filter for now, okay? Right? And then we have, I can expand it, okay? And I'm going to expand this boy here, okay? And then go to the property here, okay? And you can put the title, right? Chart, right? See, it's visible here. And then you can align the text whichever way you want. And then you can choose the x-axis. You know, you can if you wanted to show the axis, you can do that. If you don't want, you see it's disappear, right? If you don't want to show the title, you can actually hide the title as well, okay? See? And same way you can use it for the y-axis as well, right? If you don't want to use the axis, see, it's gone, right? And you can use axis, and if you wanted to, so it's up to you the way you wanted to display the stuff. These are the properties. Fiddle with it, right? You will get to know more. So, and then you have a legend. So if you wanted to show the legend, you can show the legend. You see, these are the legends here, right? These are the legends here. And if you don't want to show the legends, you can show the legend headers. The header will go off. See, the stage is the header here on the right top corner of the chart. So that's up to you how you want to customize your chart. So these are the different properties associated with the chart. You can fiddle with it, okay? Then you can use conditional formatting, right? So if you wanted to have conditional formatting, if you wanted to apply to measure, you can do that. The sum of amount, right? Or if you wanted to, say, change the color to this, right? So whatever. So I'm not going to use any of this type, okay? And widget style, right? So if you wanted to change the background color, you can do that. I'm going to choose this one, okay? I mean, I know it's not a pretty looking chart, but you get the message what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, and then I'm going to use the text here, okay? It's similar like, dragging and dropping stuff. If you've been a programmer, if you've worked with, C#, Visual Studio, drag and drop a component on the form, it's pretty much the same, right? Or if you work with the crystal reports or, reporting tools, or you know what I'm talking. Okay, so add a text, you can say fancy chart. It can name whatever you want, right? So, and a text style, right? Color, if you wanted to change the color, you can change the red, whatever. Doesn't look nice. Okay, so, okay, so again, alignment, you wanted to make it the center, you just make it center, right? And just make it, okay. I mean, I know that I'm not really good with design, but I'm trying to tell you what all stuff you can do with the chart, right? And then we have I wanted to display the sum of all these opportunities, right? So you can do that using a number figure. Okay, so you can, this is a number, right? And then it's going to drop it here. Okay, and then click on this one. And then instead of, so what I do, I just going to take the sum of amount. Okay, I remove the count. Okay, and then just delete it. And right, the sum of this. Okay, now here you can because this number looks a bit strange, right? You can make it a bit prettier, so you can shorten it, okay? And then you can say sum, okay? Okay, sum of amount, whatever you wanted to do it, name it, okay? You can do that here, and let me stretch it a bit. Okay, for some reason. Okay, never mind. So number size, don't care. If you wanted to make it bigger, you can make it as well, okay? You can do a lot of stuff with that, okay? And then with your style, you can change the background color and just make it this, right? Just to make it consistent with this one, okay? You can make it. So a lot of stuff you can do. So this is one of the things you can do, right? And then, or if you don't want the sum of this one, I can just take it off, right? So you can see the total, something like that. So whichever works for you, right? And then there's something about the filters I want to talk about, right? So if you wanted to filter this chart, right? Let's say I wanted to filter this chart. This is a filter component, so I drop the filter component here, right? So I click it here, and then I choose the same data set. So here, right, we choose a field using which you want to which will be used as a filter condition, right? Let's say you're going to choose the stage, right? So the chart will get filtered using the stage, right? If you choose the close when, it will display only the close when. If you display, if you say billing country, it will filter by billing country, right? So let's choose a billing country, okay? Right, so let's arrange it here, and let's arrange it here, okay? So I can filter this by billing country, right? So let me save this, okay? This is a save button here. You can save it. I can say training data set. I need to store where you want it to store, which app. So I'm going to choose the first demo app. Okay, so I saved it, and then I will gonna preview it. So I'm gonna preview it. Okay, so now you can't do anything with the text. This is just a text field, but see the different here, the billing country, right? So I would say I wanted to see by Australia. Okay, see, the bottom figure get filtered and everything got filtered, right? And you can actually click here. It will filter you based on that. You can actually click on the chart component and it will filter you. And if you wanted to go back, you can just return it back, right? There's a back button here. Or you can say, I wanted to filter everything by USA, America. See, so it filters opportunity, this chart based on America, right? And it filters even the number figure down here, okay? Sounds great, right? Okay, so let's edit. And there's something I wanted to talk about, the toggle component, right? So you can toggle between two things. So this is a toggle component, like yes or no, right? You click on yes, it will. So what I'm going to do here, I'll create a toggle component here, okay? So I wanted to toggle this based on closed won and closed lost, right? That's the opportunity stage, right? So stage of different types, right? Closed won, close lost, and whatever, right? There are a lot of things. Okay, so this is a toggle component. So we're gonna hook this component to the data set, right? So click here and choose the, so it's by default it's hooked to this. So I'm gonna look for stage, okay? Now create a stage here, right? Now you can see I got a lot of stuff here. I don't want any of this stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to click on it, go to filters here, and add a filter, and I'm gonna look for stage, right? And I'll choose only these two, close one and close two, okay, and update it, okay. And now I will see I got these two, right? I just wanted to keep it here, okay. Now I'm gonna save it, right? And then I'm gonna preview it, okay. And you can see the close one. See, it's all close one, right? And you see the close lost. Everything's close lost, right? Pretty straightforward, right? And even the number widgets changed based on that, okay. And you can now apply the filter if you wanted to see Australia. See, there's no figure, right? And so you just go back, right? Everything's back to normal, and close lost, right? And so let's say close loss in the United Kingdom, okay, right? We got some figures, right? So you can use these two together, right? And then it will help you to filter out the chart, right? So this is a pretty good way you can do a lot of fancy stuff with the chart on the dashboard screen. You can add multiple pages, right? And you can go back and forth, right? So you click here, it will take you to, I'm going to talk about that next time, not today. So I hope you understood what I'm trying to do today, right? So the dashboards are very important because this is what the sales team or salesperson see it, right? Because if I'm a sales guy, right, I would love to see the metrics in the form of a graphical user presentation or in a form of table form, whichever, is more readable and, makes sense, right? So the data is very important. So once you have a data set ready, so that it's making a dashboard is super simple, and you need to understand the properties and what all you can do with that, right? If you wanted to look at the code perspective, you can actually look at the code perspective as well, right? So you can see we have a query here. So hang on a second. So this one, right? Stage, right? So you go to the stage here and go to edit, okay? And there is this one in a query mode. So you go to query mode. So this is how it is queried, right? So I'm going to talk about the cycle queries later, not now. So you can do stuff using the queries as well, but we're not going to touch on that at this point of time. Just to give you an idea, right? This is how the cycle queries looks like and where to find it, right? Right. So that's all I wanted to talk about it, and then you can fiddle with what I want you to do right after this episode. I wanted to go and build your own dashboard, right? Put a component, try with a date field, right? So add a date calendar here, okay, and link it to say close date, right? And and do whatever you wanted to do with this one, right? So okay, let me show you the date field while we're here, right? I'm going to save it, okay? And then I'll run it, okay? So close date all, okay? So I'm just going to do custom fiscal year. So it get updated, there's nothing is there, right? And then I say all time, it'll show it. So fiddle with the widgets, right? And then you will see the difference in behavior, right? So, you can probably add a table component and you can add a map component. You can do a lot of stuff right with it, right? And then see how it works. It's pretty straightforward, right? Right. So that's all I wanted to talk about it today. So greetings and adios from New Zealand. Take care. Bye-bye.